Hey guys, welcome back to AIR Reptile Rescue. Today we're going to talk about the daily care requirements for your corn snakes. This is coming from personal experience from whenever I had Snowball, like I mentioned in the first corn snake video. Uh, Adult corn snakes will need at least a 20-gallon tank, but with me, I always believe that the bigger you go, the better off you are. Uh, it gives your snake more room to move, and it gives them more room to stretch out and things like that. And the bigger their enclosure and the more room they have, the happier they're going to be. Uh, Also remember, just like your ball pythons, provide a lot of hiding spaces, like a lot of foliage, hides, and stuff like that in their enclosure. But the difference between them and ball pythons is provide a lot of branches and things they can climb on. Uh, Do remember that whenever you provide things to climb on for your corn snakes, though, they are escape artists. So make sure your enclosure is secured at all times. So that whenever they're climbing on that stuff, they can't find their way out. Um, Corn snakes love warm spots. Uh, what they like to do is whenever I mentioned just now about them liking to climb on stuff, uh, they love the warmth from a basking light. Like, say if you have a screen top enclosure and you put a light on top, that basking light, that snake will get up on whatever is underneath it and lay there and bask in that heat and in that light. If they get too warm, they will come down and lay on the substrate or whatever, or they'll go to their cool side of their enclosure and get in their water bowl and stuff like that to cool off. But remember their basking lamp and their climbing area. They love that more than anything. Now, always remember though, if you have a basking light, and I'm going to tell you why in just a second, but always provide a belly heat too. Because just in case your basking light goes out or it gets really cold out, like it's supposed to be 49 degrees on Monday here in Louisiana for a high. So if it was that cold and all I had was my basking light, I don't feel that would provide enough heat for my snake. So I want that underbelly heat also, just in case, for extra heat source. Remember that whenever you're cleaning out any of your reptile enclosures, this really goes for lizards, snakes, anything really, do a 5% bleach solution with 95% water. Do not put your reptile back in that enclosure until it has completely air dried. Don't close it back up after you've cleaned it out and everything. Leave it open to air dry. And once it is finally fully air dried and there's no remnants of any kind of cleaning solution or any kind of water in it, then you can place your reptile back in there. If you do that before the solution has dried out and everything, and the water and stuff is dried out, that bleach solution, even at only 5%, with how much you cut it down with the water, it can hurt and will hurt and kill your snake or reptile of any kind, due to the fact that it is bleach. Just like with the ball pythons, a lot of this is going to be the same. Provide fresh water daily. Always make sure they have fresh water in their enclosures. That's just like your dogs and cats. You want them to have fresh water. You don't want dirt in their water. Things like that. Just like you would provide fresh water for your dogs, do the same for your snakes. If you're not a dog person, if you're a cat person, same thing. Goes for your cats too. If you're providing fresh water, your animals are happy. Just like with your water, whenever you're changing your water every day though, for your corn snakes too, always check it. If you see little bugs floating around, they may have mites. The mites, what they do is they get under their scales or on their bellies, and they'll start biting them and sucking their blood out. Unfortunately, it's very painful for them guys, so try to treat that as soon as you can. With the heat and humidity, this is where it differs at from a ball python or really any other snakes. With a corn snake's humidity, you want it consistently at 40 to 60%. one of the reasons that they don't need their humidity really bumped up when they're in shedding is because of how small they are. That humidity that they have already, I would put it at 60% at the highest whenever they're shedding. That extra humidity will help the scales kind of loosen up a little bit better with that moisture. Their temperature, here's where it gets weird. Okay, with a ball python, you want their temperature the same all day, all night. You don't want their temperatures fluctuating too much. Now with a corn snake though, their temperature during the day should be 80 to 85 degrees. But at night, you can allow it to drop to 75 to 80 degrees. And that's where it becomes unique at. So, like I said with the ball python, you want their temperatures to stay around the same. But at night, you can allow the corn snake's temperatures to come down a little bit. Usually, whenever I talk about temperatures with a corn snake, I usually say just keep their temperatures right around 80. Then you don't have to worry about that fluctuation, so that at night, whenever they go to sleep or whenever you go to sleep, it's already at 80 degrees, they're fine. With your corn snake, feed them once a week. Like I mentioned before, their consistent diet is mainly mice. So you really want to keep them fed weekly because mice don't provide as much nutrition and stuff like that. They're not as big as rats, but the mice is what they can handle the best. Feed your corn snake a prey that is about 1.5 times the mid-body girth, which means that if I have my snake out, like I don't have a corn snake right now, but if I had them, or if I had one of my ball pythons out, I'd go about to the middle of their body and see how thick it is, and then I'd want a prey that's 1.5 times thicker than that. If you go anything larger, your snake's going to have trouble eating it. They may not even try to eat it because it's going to be too big. Only feed if you have the proper digesting temperatures. That's why I also say make sure you keep it, I would say right at 80 degrees at all times, because then that snake will be comfortable, even if it's day or night. And that would be perfect for digesting temperatures for a corn snake. But make sure those temperatures for digesting are consistent. Don't let them drop. Don't let them go up. Keep that a consistent temperature whenever they're digesting their food. Same thing with the handling as far as the ball python goes. Handle your snakes daily. That's going to help them keep them calm and docile. But remember, after you feed, don't handle them for 48 to 72 hours. And then, like I always say about shedding also, it's just like if you have a sunburn. Whenever they're shedding, it's going to be painful for them, so try not to handle them during shedding. Let them shed and then bring them out afterwards. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me, guys. I have a lot of people that ask me questions all the time about reptiles. I love answering questions for anybody. I love answering questions for the kids. So leave questions or comments down in the comment section. If you can't leave them in the comment section, go on my Facebook page at AIR Reptile Rescue. Send me a message there. Say, hey, I got this question, or hey, I really appreciate your videos. Anything like that. We appreciate your support. But we're going to wrap it up, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We love you guys for y'all's support. We appreciate it a lot. It shows that you guys love what we do. But don't forget to like and subscribe to the videos, guys. The more you like my videos, the more YouTube will put people on notice that I'm there. And the more that you subscribe, the more it shows me that I'm doing a great job and that I'm teaching people and helping people learn about different reptiles. Our next video that we're going to do, guys, is going to be the proper handling and how often to handle your corn snake. I kind of mentioned how often with handling daily, but we'll get more into it in the next video. But pretty soon, we're going to try to get all of these videos out because right after this was supposed to be the King Snake series. I'm actually going to bump that back. I just purchased a Pac-Man frog, so I'm going to do a series on the Pac-Man frog next, after the Corn Snake series is finished. So guys, stay tuned. Thank you all so much for your support. We appreciate you. Y'all have a good night from AIR, and we'll talk to you guys soon.